Welcome to the round 7 team sheets video and also my final trades. I think we'll see. It's George from Fantasy Take TV. Team sheets were interesting. A few more rookies are coming through, which is nice. Last week's rookies were a disaster. Williams was the best. He was sub. Johnson scored poorly, but he held. We'll get to that. And Roberts is out for 8 to 10. So pretty unfortunate, but what can you do? So my trades for this week, we're going to grab Cogs, Sturt and Mitchell for McKenna, Cowan and Wilmot. I think that's what we're going to do. That's what my trades have been since Tuesday. Tuesday was Anzac Day, so I think. So that's the trades and that's how we'll line up this week. Laird, oh boy, I can't take this no more. If Laird is out, probably my favourite player at the moment. If he's out, then that's not good, especially we need him for the Collingwood game, just as a Crow supporter. But he's doing a captain's run, I believe, Saturday. I think, was it Friday? Friday or Saturday? I think I heard Saturday, to see if he pulls up or not. So he's a chance, and I always kind of want him to miss because I don't want him to ping a calf if it's bad. But I guess you trust the medical people and whatnot, but they're the trades. I'm weighing up Will Day. So next week, basically, I'll go through my future trade plan. So next week, Davey down at Chincotta, hopefully. Setterfield up to Zach Merritt. I can't really get Ashcroft up. And then the week after that, Green and Ashcroft. Green down to 123k. Ashcroft to premium. I don't know how much money that'll be. Maybe like 530k or something. I can't do maths at the moment. There'll be 220 there. And that'll be, say he's 360, 240 plus, no, I might just get someone decent. So if he gets to 300, maybe like 550k we'll have to play with. Maybe like a Callum Mills or something like that, but we'll see how we go. But that's the plan. So I should be right to upgrade for the next few weeks. And then after that, I think we're pretty reliant on Seamus Mitchell, Van Rooyen, Sturt, and Tyler Young to a bit more cash out of him and like a Chincotta. So we're thinking too far ahead there, but yeah. Anyway, we'll get to the team sheets. Did I say? Oh yeah, I was considering Will Day. Will Day versus Cogs. Almost want to wait and just go for Sicily, who's a bit more than Cogs. But I think we'll just go Cogs. Just the CBAs are higher. The roll is going to be good. The only thing stopping him, I think, is injury. So no soft tissue, just contact. And I think he was a bit sore last week. So last year, towards the end of the year. So like if he has a week off at some point, that's fine. I'd absolutely take a week off and then play every other game, but you never know. So we'll go Cogs this week. I've spoken Cogs first day enough with Eno, so a bit of a hard one, but yeah, like both, I guess. So St Kilda versus Port Adelaide. Farrell's out, so that should help. So that means Burgoyne's in. He plays defence, and that should help. Dill Williams named on field, so yeah, was a good rookie, but it's pretty impossible to pick as a sub. Now he's like 160k, so he's gone. St Kilda side, just my computer seems to be making funny noises, so I do apologise if you can hear that. I might turn it down if that helps. Okay, moving on. So Stocker, if you have him, I think he can go or hold. He's close to, if not maxed out, but showing some good signs. I don't think he scored over 80 though. Steele, he's one we can potentially target if he comes good. If he's cheap and like if he did like 105 for the year, I think I'd almost take that. And then Port Adelaide, Butters starting on the bench, so that's what he did. So you never love a player who starts off the bench, but regardless, he's playing pretty well, and the CBAs I think will be higher than last year. Last year, I think average CBAs were under 40. I think this year it'll be 15-20% bump on that. So I do not mind Butters. I've opted for Cogs, a bit cheaper and more CBAs. So, but yeah, Butters looks pretty good. I think you can only go one of Cogs or Butters unless you're flush for trades, just because I think probably want to hold a spot. Part of me, one of the reasons why I'm not sure about going a forward now is I think DPPs, we might get Gorn. I think Petrarca's not too far off. And Darcy Cameron's coming back, so you'd almost want all three if they get it, but just not in that position this year. So Yeah, those with money and trades and being chilling, not me, unfortunately. So I think Bartel's been good in the VFL, so maybe he gets a sub job, or Windhager. Brisbane versus Fremantle. I dare say this might be a bloodbath, but every time I predict that, it never happens. So, but still, I think Fremantle's form is concerning. Brisbane, the Tolls are getting a bit of confidence. Hipwood and Danaher are starting to play some good footy. So I honestly fear for Justin Longmuir in this game. Could get ugly, but that's alright. So not much on this side. Driscoll, Swikowski in. So Curry Wagner admitted. So I think fortunately, I think people were considering him this week. So I guess now you don't go Wagner. But yeah, this is my worry with him. So while his role is a bit better than Sturt, waffle numbers better than Sturt. Like I just don't think he's a good player, unfortunately. So I think you just forget him. If you have him, I guess I don't know what you do. You just hold and correct him if he doesn't come back. So yep, that's Brisbane. McKenna, I think he's ready to go. It's just they're using Daniel Rich and Kadeem Coleman a fair bit, and McKenna's like the third one. But in my opinion, McKenna's actually the one I'd want the ball in his hands the most out of the three. So as I just choke on a nut. What was I saying? Yeah, I like McKenna's usage. I think you can. Sorry, I don't like his usage, as in they don't use him enough. But yeah, he's a good ball user regardless. So makes plays happen. I think you can hold or trade. It's whatever. He's yeah, I think there's still people holding like a Setterfield, Ashcroft, maybe like a Liam Jones Stocker. Like I guess they can all kind of go whenever. I think. Okay, back. Ashcroft CBAs have dropped, so I think he's gone for me within the next 2 weeks. He just needs to keep like easy matchup this week, so hopefully he can give us an 80 or something, and he'll be ready to go next week or the week after, I think. Or you could hold him a bit longer if the CBAs continue to be dropped. They've given the a bit more CBAs to McLuggage, I think. Wilmot is one that can go. So Wilmot's I think his two best scores. One, he pretty much saved his score because he went half back. Daniel Rich was out in the last quarter, and the other one, he kicked a goal against North, like ridiculous, like from the boundary. So pretty lucky. So he's struggling to score in that role. He can go. He can stay on your bench another week. Break evens in the 30s, but I'm trading. That's pretty much it there. Johnson named halfback, like whatever. A Driscoll full forward or forward pocket, like don't read too much into that. So Erasmus might be the sub here, or even Wagner could be. Who knows? He's a bit versatile. So I think Erasmus maybe. I don't know. I think JL said he was considering him during the week. Sturt's named here. So how many forwards I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're running 7 forwards. I think he looked alright. His heat maps, like there's a few touches up the ground. I think he's one you're happy to pass. Frio's fixtures just terrible, but if you need to grab someone, I think Sturt's the second preference this week, and then I'll probably plan for Cincotta next week. Cincotta, Angwin, and Sam Simpson. I'll probably skip Simpson just because I can't afford to trade in a 166k player who's playing mostly forward, so I'll probably pass on him, but he looks good. If his base price, I definitely like him, but just can't get to it at the moment. So yeah, Sturt, I think he holds his spot, and you probably hold him for like 7-8 weeks, I think, and just hopefully he makes 150k, which I think he will. He's got a 60 in his system for the second game, which is nice. So, but yeah, honestly, I wouldn't expect major things or fielding him, but he has shown to score. Scored 100 in his first game, I think, a few years back. Decent game in the preseason, so fingers crossed. Yeah, he's 23, I think, so he's like fairly mature age, so I'll take it. He's in for me. And yeah, Johnson, I wouldn't be fielding him. You just hope he keeps playing and does some nice things. Sydney versus the Giants. Okay, so just looking at this. So they're playing the one key defender still, McCartan. Not playing Fox, which is interesting. So probably Mills goes back again. And just Sheldrick, he had a 39 touch, 158 fantasy game, I believe, in the VFL. Obviously not going to get the same CBAs as he got in the VFL. I mean, bloody Mills can't even get him, or like Gordon. So keep an eye on him. He's 166 as well. We'll see how. I guess we'll see how he goes. Just depends on your trade plans. Like for me, next week I can't get a 166k player like a Simpson, but the week after I could potentially look at Sheldrick. So keep an eye on him for sure. He could be a good one that holds in place through the buys. And looking at the Giants, Rouston, if you have him, a bit unlucky. He could be the sub again. But I guess Tom Green comes in, someone has to go out. So I think they played him forward pocket anyway, so that's whatever. And look at the main three on ball: Kelly, Green, Cogs. So yeah, I think, what does Kelly do? Kelly probably does 110. Green probably does 107. I think Cogs does like 98. That's what I would say. But yeah, anyway. Gordon, half forward. I'm holding Gordon, not in position to trade, had excuses last week, so we'll move on. Bulldogs versus Hawthorn. I had like a bunch of almonds before, and then it's like all stuck in my mouth, in my throat. Anyway, Bulldogs versus Hawks, not much changes here. Lib is listed as 1 to 2 with concussion, so a bit concerning, but he's still a hold if you have him. And 2 debutants, Josh Weddle. So he trained for wing. He played like everywhere, I think, in juniors, but I think he was mostly intercepting defender. But he's played wing, I believe, in preseason or training there. I haven't monitored him monitored him much in the VFL, but he had 29, 30 touches last week, so he looked a bit off the pace, but I think they're quite excited for him. He's one where we see these draftees, they give them a few weeks, they're not ready round one, see how they go. So named in the back line. Definitely keep an eye on Josh Weddle as a downgrade target. So see if he's improved since his preseason games. And Max Ramsden, I think he's kicked a few, like 8 goals in 3 games in the... I might not have that exactly right, but he's kicked like 2 bags of 4 and I think, or a bag of 4 and 2 and then 2 and 2. I can't remember exactly. He's kicked a fair few goals in the VFL over the past month, regardless. So he's, I don't know how long Lynch is out for. So regardless, assess Ramsden in a few weeks. He's ruck forward, which is quite nice. So if he plays good, he might be one you bring in. Like for me, I don't have Ryan or what's his face, Radigalia. So even if he's obviously key forward mostly, maybe a little bit of ruck time. So we'll see how he goes. Meek, I don't know what's going on with Meek. He's played 1 VFL game for the year, so I don't know if he's injured. I don't know if he's out of favour. I don't know. And then Cam McKenzie out. I guess he's probably hit a bit of a wall, and Connor McDonald out. I think probably a bit stiff, but whatever. He's just trying some stuff. Will Day's back, which is great. Ferg Green with Mitch Lewis back. Maybe he gets less targeted up forward, but I think I have to field him for this week, and I think I can take him off next week against his old club, the Dogs, so back him in. Yeah, not ideal though, fielding a player in his role. Melbourne versus North. This is the game which I was looking forward to for Clary Oliver. Yeah, 170 break even, so you probably do wait a week and grab him next week. Still has some nice fixtures to come. Petty's out for Shaki, interesting. So JVR's the number 1 forward. They don't want to play Tom McDonald, and not sure what's going on with Brown. I think he might have a sore back or something. Will Phillips out. I think he's going to get an extended run in the VFL. So I think he's a trade. Chandler's one you can probably keep holding. Van Rooyen, I think, I'm fielding him this week just because it's North. Who are the key defenders? Mackay and Logue. Okay, so they got good key defenders there. Not much else to speak on. LDU apparently has like a foot issue, but I don't know the extent of it, but he's playing, and I guess you kind of just hope he shakes it off. And it's not a long-term thing, but not too sure exactly, but yeah, slight concern. West Coast versus Carlton. no real. Actually, there's a lot of relevance here. So Sard and Docker back. So great if you have Sard and you held, and then Doherty. Could he actually be a target in a few weeks? So they've got 6 defenders here. Assuming Kemp plays defense, he can play forward. I don't think there's room for him forward though. And they got Chincotta and Young. So they've named 8 defenders. So I wonder if they put, because they've dropped Kennedy, who was playing back anyway. I wonder if they throw Doherty more in the midfield, because he was pretty much struggling at halfback with McGovern and whatnot, and Sard taking up all the rebounds. So I wonder if Doc goes into the midfield, and he could be a target. If he stays in defense, I'm pretty worried with their setup, just from what I saw earlier in the year. But I think you keep your eye on Doc. And yeah, he was listed as 2 to 4 weeks, so this is kind of strange. But yeah, I guess it's good for Doc to get back into the side. So we'll monitor Doc for sure as an upgrade target. If he looks good in the right role, I want to see midfield time personally. I guess if McGovern went down long term, I think I'd be more enticed by Doherty. But yeah, I think it's just high break even. Give it a watch for 2 or 3 weeks. Chincotta, would you go early on him? It's probably safer to wait, to be honest, just in case. We got Seamus, you go. Actually, we spoke on GDS just quickly. Where's Angwin named? Bench. So he's like a winger. I wouldn't go early on him. He could be a good option next week, but keep an eye on that. But back to Carlton. Yeah, Cowan dropped as well, so that was pretty expected. I think he'll play VFL, maybe Kennedy sub here. So yeah, Holland, I think you can field at Optus, big ground. Hopefully that helps him. Seems to be nice for wingers anyway. Essendon versus Geelong, pretty excited for this game. Should be a good one. Both teams in form, although I had a poor last quarter. Merritt's back. Can't wait to own him. I'll try get him in next week. And I think they played 2 rucks here, just because of Draper and Phillips. Setterfield named on ball, so I'm quite happy to hold Setterfield, but I'm also happy to flick him. I want to get rookies. I want to get off the field first, but if the rookies have no money on their head, well, and you need to make an upgrade, then Setterfield can go, because he's not really making money anymore. CBA's dropped last week, but he did play a bit halfback when Laverde went out. Collingwood had to score on, well, Laverde was subbed out. I can't remember what it was, like shoulder or something. So regardless, Parrish 550k. He's one, if he's your cup of tea, that's fine, because he can score. He's playing pretty well this year. I'm a Merritt man personally, so I'll be looking at him next week, hopefully. His break-even's 90 odds, so hopefully he doesn't go nuts. Although next week I think he has, what's that team? Maybe Willem Drew will tag him like he did last year. Hopefully not, but yeah, something to keep an eye on. It might be better to wait after the Port game. And then Geelong, if you have radically, probably keep fielding him in his current form. Might drop a poor one, but every chance to drop another 70 or 80. Stu's a good target, and that's pretty much it. Sam Simpson on the bench extended, so I think Bose, Simpson, Segler, Henry, I think they play. That would be my guess, but I'm not sure. Richmond versus Gold Coast. Soldo is back. Who's replacing Took here? Davies, I think. Fiorini not even named properly. I think Fiorini will play though, so looks like Tyler Young held for me and the 20 other people that have him, which is great with Broad back in the team. So I think his job security is quite good now, because Tarrant's a fair way off as far as I'm aware. Gibcus, I think, is another 3 or so weeks away, and they'll probably build him up through the VFL. So yeah, that's good. He's one you can just hold. Hopefully makes another 50k, which he can, but with that 20 in his system, it's might be an uphill battle from here. Baker named half forward. I think it's not good. I got him in fantasy. I think have to let him go. But yeah, so you definitely can't go him. I guess this was the flag, so should have been a bit more firm and said no, but yeah, whatever. I started him in fantasy and was okay, but lucky with short out. Hopper looks good. I think Hopper can do high 90s. That's what it looks like to me. And for me, I'm not trading till the last buy, because here's the last buy. So if you trade him to someone with an earlier buy, you get one less player during that last buy round, basically, or during the buys. So it's better to flip him on that last buy, in my opinion. In my opinion, anyway. So looking at Gold Coast, still playing long. So I think we're all kind of hanging out for Constable to come back in if he's still held. But doesn't seem to be on the cards, unfortunately. And I think people looking at Rao, nah, not for me. So who gets this mid-time? They said Humphrey. I think Swallow will pick up. Fiorini will pick up some slack. Rao and Anderson will be the main two, you would think. Who plays here? Probably Davies, Fiorini, Roses, Jeffrey. I don't know. So I wouldn't go Fiorini. Just he's not a keeper. And it's just, hard to justify. But I think he's got the capability to score quite well. Crows versus Collingwood. So obviously, like, Matt Crouch extended. So keep an eye out on him in for Laird. So that's, I think, Saturday. I think we find that out, hopefully. Harvey Harrison. Don't know who that is. Taylor Adams is back, which is quite good. But I don't think there's a whole lot of relevance here. For the Crows, I guess it's just Laird. Don't really seem to have any rookies coming through. I haven't monitored Zach Taylor, but he was quite good at the end of last year, but doesn't seem to have continued earlier in the year. But no rookies coming through for the Crom, unfortunately. And then Collingwood, Nick Dacos. Apparently I would suspect Keys goes to Dacos, like he went to Sard. So that'll be an interesting how that works, because I think it's just beyond a joke that teams aren't putting a hard tag on him. So monitor how he goes there. And that's pretty much it, I think. Pendles might be in doubt. I don't think anyone has him. More of a draft pick or draft player. But he's got that eye issue, so maybe he gets up, see how he goes. So I think that's it from me. Again, trades this week. We'll probably stick with this. Grab Cogs and then hopefully grab Merritt or someone else that's discounted. Maybe Mills if they get key defenders back into the team. Probably should wait for a bit of a turnaround there. Get to see a bit of data. But this bench is ugly. Davies extended, so hopefully he plays. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you for watching and have a good week, I guess. I'll see you in the next one.